Okay, I just double check here. Think we are live. We are. Awesome. We are live right now. Fantastic. Well, I tell you what, good Sunday evening, everybody. Hope you're all doing well. So, this is super exciting. We are doing more and more live streams, which we're going to talk more about tonight. But we have a really, 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 really special live stream tonight, which I'm so excited about. Like, just seriously, just can't hold in. It's just can't hold it in. And I am so happy, so excited to have us, my partner, my love, my really the better half of this channel. And I'm just gonna go ahead and bring her right on in. And here she is.
I'm here.
Hello. Hey, babe.
Hello.
All right. Wow. How exciting
I
is this,
have to
right?
say, full disclaimer, I'm mildly distracted right now trying to get the live stream up so I can see chat and everything at the same time. And something doesn't seem to be working for me. So
Mm,
yeah.
mm. So
Um
you can't see the chat just yet?
I can't even see anything right now.
Oh,
What can we say, right?
okay.
Real life problems.
Well, look,
um
this is
I'll
our
get
first
there.
time.
I'll get
Yeah.
there.
Okay.
Yeah. Um, so
It
anyway, yeah, we're here. Hi.
it's our first live stream together. Like, it would be strange and silly to think that everybody's live stream wasn't without its or their first live streams weren't without having to work out the kinks and whatnot. So, like, this is a
I'm
big
sure it
step,
happens
right?
to even the best of the best.
Yeah.
So, there's that. Um, Let me see. I'm just trying my hardest to get this going and
Take your time.
sorry.
No, that's okay. Like I said, we're gonna sort this out, and people are gonna be patient with us, and that's okay. I think right now it's just you and I anyway, and that's okay too.
Thank God right
Mm.
now. That's all I can say.
Uh, this has been, I mean, there's so many elements and facets to what we talk about as the journey, and just even this right here, like this little bit of like live streaming
Nope, that's your last one.
is what's that?
I just literally cannot get this one going, so I don't know what to do.
Hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Uh,
Let me try. Keep talking.
okay.
Keep
Okay.
talking. We'll just try something different.
No, I was gonna say, I mean, so in YouTube land, right? I mean, it seems like it's a progression. It's a lot of people very easily and quickly they'll work on their shorts that they put together, that they upload and generate a lot of views and whatnot, to share their content and their stories and whatnot. And then people um tend to maybe evolve to videos. Um, I think it's always interesting that between you and me, because you're so much better at social media than I am, so much better, leaps and bounds better at social media than I am. That I I can see like this distinct difference, which is you have a natural tendency to record vertical videos, which are perfect for the shorts, and my history and background tends to be um, to record the horizontal videos at the same time, or sorry, to record horizontal videos, which are great for actual videos, right? And this is, so you and I kind of like naturally produce content on both sides of that coin, but this is new altogether. Like our live stream here, the live
Yeah.
streams, um, this is new. This is different.
And I had
And
success. I got it working. So
did you? Awesome.
just
Okay.
so you know. Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah. I
Very good.
figured it out. So
Well, it's not so I like to say like this is our first live stream together, obviously, and we're
it
working out
is.
the kinks of getting us together in this virtual session because we're unfortunately we're not, together today physically. Um, but definitely not our first live session, period, right? When was our
No, I mean, we've
first,
live streamed on vacation. I mean, we've done our like sail away days on our cruise.
you know,
We did the Christmas party at Disney.
hmm
You did a live stream, a couple weeks ago. But this is like the first one we're just
hmm
like sitting and chatting together
I know,
and hoping
I
for
know.
company to come.
Yeah. Well, somebody else has joined us,
S-
so make sure,
Somebody's here. Hello.
yeah. So make sure you tell us
Yeah.
who you are, where you're from, and join in on the
Yeah.
conversation. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, the live streaming is, wow. When you're out and about, and I don't want to turn this into a tech talk, but geez, when you're out and about at various places, wherever we're traveling to, or being at home, as we are tonight, uh, connectivity can definitely be an issue. But it's certainly cool when we can do it like on the side of the boat, as we're headed out to sea, for example, or as we did, Friday night. Friday night was fun, wasn't it? Wasn't Friday night cool? Friday night was
Friday night was awesome. Yep.
Friday
Yep.
night was its own set of firsts. You and I have been to Fenton before. Cool, neat place, and not been there at night. That's a fun place to go during the day, and we'd kind of gone late afternoon before. Um, I had high hopes how it was going to be at night, and it definitely delivered. But like we do with a lot of things, there's always a lot of like firsts involved, and so to have um to have my youngest son Ryan come out and be a part of the experience, that was a lot of fun. I wasn't sure how that was going to go, to be honest with you.
I mean, I didn't either, but I just love the fact that he was super excited to do it with you. And that's the reality of our situation right now. Like I'm not always going to be there, or you're not always going to be
No,
here for us to do a live stream or
no,
even a vlog together, right? So
no,
the fact that you had somebody to go out and do that with, that was
mm,
awesome. And
mm,
it was his first time, and it was
mm.
cool to be on the opposite side of the screen,
No,
watching you guys do the live stream and me just kind of like chit-chatting with people as they were coming in, and just kind of monitoring like the live chat, and just being able to like sit back, relax, and watch you guys do your thing. So
no.
yeah.
He's such a great kid, really, he is. And
Yes.
sometimes can be on the shy side. And so, like I said, I wasn't really sure how it was going to work out. And he was so cute. When we were in the car, and fun fact for those who don't yet know, actually the walk in Fenton was it actually ended up being like the backup plan, or I shouldn't call it a backup plan. It was it kind of was the backup plan,
It was a backup
fallback.
plan. Yeah.
Yeah, right. I mean, we wanted to go, so um, really wanted to take Ryan and one of his brothers to a go-karting experience. That was going to be really cool to show you. And we were going to go is actually under renovation. Didn't know that till we got there. Bummer. But the cool thing is that when we do go back, it's going to be extra cool because this is going to be like a go-kart adventure with like multiple like levels that you can drive your cars on up in hills, and that'll be a lot of fun. But later that night I asked, I was like, Ryan, would you want to go streaming elsewhere? Because big long story short, his slightly older brother wasn't able to stay with us the whole night that night, and he's like, I told him about this cool place in Cary, and would you want to go? And he's like, yeah, but and I it was kind of late, and I wasn't really thinking he was going to want to go. And he's like, "What?" And he's like, "We could go tonight if you wanted to go." I'm like, "Well, sure, why not? That sounds great." And it's just the excitement of having, like you said, Lena, just having another another new stream buddy, if you will, right? To tag
Yep.
along and come along, and that was a lot of fun. And we got a lot of great comments. People enjoy Fenton. The lights, the sounds. I mean, I've got to say, a lot of people like were paying attention to like the fire pits and some other portions of the outdoor experience that was just a little too cold for when we were there on Friday night. And so, um, I I I've promised the channel that we'll definitely go back when it's warmer.
I think it would be really cool to like go back, but go back like during the daytime. Because
Mhm.
that way at least you can see like a little bit more of like the action. You could
Sure.
potentially, see what it's like when it's more busier. Like you guys were there at the tail end of the day, like you said, it was the alternative plan, right?
Yeah.
But I've been there multiple times at night now, and I think it's super cute, like the lights up over
Mhm.
the street. If you're able to do some shopping there, cute stores. I think it's a good variety. I think there's some like really high end stores there, but then
Yeah.
some like normal stores.
Yeah.
Going back to what you were seeing, like Sephora's there, and that altered state and the Arula, like there are places there that people will absolutely go into. And
Yep.
then you've got the theater, you have multiple restaurants, bars, little pubs. So I mean, it's a really like really cute spot.
Yep.
They have a lot of land there. I could potentially see that place even just kind of
Hmm.
expanding as time goes
Yep.
by, like depending on how busy or how popular it gets, right?
Yeah.
But it's got a lot going for it. And I mean, I think the draw there is it's a little bit of like an entertainment district, right? And it's super cute because it's also got like those condos built into it. Like the people that live in that area, um, they're really where it's happening. They're really where
Yeah.
it's happening.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
it's just very, very cute. Like,
Yeah.
and I would say like if someone doesn't have anything to potentially do one day and they're in that area, I would say go out and check it out,
Mm.
right? Like,
Location is amazing. I mean, Cary is a suburb of Raleigh, and I always tell people, like, when people like ask me, where we from, I always say Raleigh because Raleigh is like the thing that you're gonna find on the map, right? Um, and Cary is just a suburb of Raleigh. They're real close to each other. Great location to RTP. Fun fact, it's actually across the street from what used to be a mall called Cary Town Center, but it's been demolished because Epic, the maker of Fortnite and the Unreal Engine and some other game and movie industry related technologies, they bought it for their headquarters. But I think I just read recently that they decided not to do that. But that Fenton Place, yeah, location you're exactly right. It is definitely a happening place to be. And by the way, for those who are in the chat, good to have you tonight. Make sure you tell us who you are and where you're from.
sure, welcome in,
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. Though it was like I said, it's a little bit on the chilly side. Um, but people were having a good time. Not a lot of, I said, the only people who were eating outside were the people at uh Dram and Drought, if I've got the name correct. And they were eating next to some flames that were
Those
shooting
outdoor
up.
heat that those were
Exactly.
outdoor heaters, absolutely. When you guys were walking by, that's the only reason why people could be out there was because of those.
Yep.
If those weren't there, I'm sure everyone would be inside. But yeah, I mean, you guys did really cool. Ryan did awesome. He was you're right. He can be a shy kid at times, and you absolutely saw him as the live stream progressed. Like, I think he came out of his shell a little
Yeah, yeah,
bit.
yeah,
He got super excited about things. He
yeah.
started pointing out a lot to you, and also even like monitoring the chat a little bit.
You
So
did.
I know, like, you could hear him say, like, every time like
Yeah.
more and more people joined, like he
Uh-huh.
was like watching the count of the people and who was
Yeah.
saying what in there. So I have no doubt that I think you're going to have him ask to do it again
Oh
for
yeah,
sure, and
already
that's
has.
super cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he already
yeah,
has. Obviously you couldn't quite see it because it's on the other side of the phone, the recording, but you're exactly right. Like while we're walking and doing um the recording and the broadcasting, he's doing a better job of watching the chat than I am, and because that is I yeah, I'm trying to be better at it. I'm like watching the chat here tonight, um, but he's great at watching it. And yeah, he's already talking about like where are we going to go next and whatnot, and
yeah.
that's going to be really cool. So, I told him two things, right? And I think this is a general rule that anybody would probably want to follow, which is, hey, we'll go anywhere that's safe. Um, Anywhere, right? We'll go someplace that's safe. Safe and fun. We'll put those two together. Uh, but also where we get good cell service, right?
Yeah.
The Raleigh Triangle area. Um, Some spots are great. Like honestly could have increased the quality, knowing what I know now. Uh, that's fine. Friday night, but then other places I wouldn't dare. So that's okay. Onward and upward, and stay tuned for what the next stream
Very good.
is going to be.
Yeah,
It was a lot of fun. I had a great time. I think the stream had a great time. Um, we actually had um, it's a fun time just walk around and enjoying the sights and
yeah,
sounds and sharing that with everybody.
for sure,
Yeah.
for sure. Yeah. I mean,
Um,
that's something I would like to do more of on my side of the world too, right? Because the thing is that Toronto is such a massive, massive city with
yeah.
so much going on. And I guess honestly speaking, I think the challenges that I have or that I think of is number one, you have the gimbal and the microphones. I don't.
Sure.
So
Yeah.
that I wonder, would I be okay with just holding my phone? If it was longer, do I want to be holding the phone that long? Like, that in itself
Yeah.
is a little bit of like, do I want to do that or not? And then the other thing is that, I think of the city right now, and there is some really amazing like YouTubers from Toronto, a lot of walking channels and just people who cover restaurants and nightlife and all of that. And I think the challenge is to like come up with something different or something that people haven't saw before. But then I go back and I think to myself, well, even if you don't do something different and if you do something that somebody else has
Mhm.
done, you might have a different take on it or what have you. So that's just
Yeah.
things that I have to think about,
Sure.
in what I want to do here
Yeah.
on the Toronto side of things,
Mhm.
right? Hi,
And hi,
Anais.
Anais.
Hi.
Glad to have you
Thanks for
back with us.
joining.
Yes, indeed.
So glad you're here.
Yeah, you're so right. Like there are some
There's more people
great.
here, but nobody's in the
Yeah.
chat right
Yeah.
now. So I keep looking down because I'm
Yeah.
really good about looking and trying to see
Mm,
like who's here and
yeah.
where are people tuning in from.
Yeah.
So yeah, but thank you, Anais. Thanks for being here.
We I mean, you're so right. You know, there's some great YouTubers, you're right, in Toronto. Some of which I think it's fair to say inspired us or kind of helped think about, some of this channel, right? We started this channel almost a year ago. We're coming up on our 1 year channel or channel anniversary.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I would love to hit 200 by the first year. Like that would be, you know, that'd be fun. That'd be great. That'd be like really cool. But there are some great content creators up there in Toronto that we keep an eye on. It's right. It's a case of you're right. I've got some of the physical equipment that we've invested in, but yet I think overall, I think you've got a better landscape of sorts, right? You live in a much larger, much more dense city and population. And I'm gonna go out on a limb. You're probably gonna laugh at this. I'm gonna bet your cell service is probably better on the whole, the places that we would want it to be good.
Probably.
I
I mean,
bet that's the
I would say
case.
most likely. Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure. For sure.
yeah.
But yeah, so I think more to come on both sides of our channel. But
Mm,
I think the whole you say, you know, other YouTubers inspired us for this idea and that, and I think that that's absolutely fair to say.
yeah.
But I think it's also something that we both started talking about and potentially got interested in. And then the thing is that um it's just a way to do something together when we're not able to always be together.
Of
So
course, of course.
yeah, yeah.
Uh,
So it's been super
that's
cool
true.
that way.
That's true. I,
Yeah.
I could probably write down an oh hello from North
Ni-
Neverland.
she was ninja watching while doing the dishes. Hi, Mandy and Mike. And
Glad
for
to have you
anyone
guys.
else that's out there,
Yep.
from North to Neverland is my sister,
Yep.
Mandy, and my brother-in-law, Mike, and they have a channel.
Mm,
So, I
mm,
mean, I always say go check them out.
Yep.
If you're here visiting us and found our channel, please like and subscribe if you haven't
Yep.
already. And as we always like to do, mutual support for other channels.
Yes.
So from North to Neverland, they do a lot of travel and
Yeah.
local vlogs too. So
Hmm.
definitely give them a look as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they got some really great blogs on there. Um, definitely go check them out.
Yep.
They're uh, they're great. I mean, what else can I say? And they're a lot of fun. And um, again, uh, just what can we say? We're gonna cross promote the people that we care about, and absolutely, they're the first. And on this channel here, especially now that we know that we've got two people working together, uh, we will definitely have them back, and not just in our chat channel, but we'll do a group session together at some point. They're willing to do that. Like that'll be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So we've got a lot
Yeah.
of
For sure.
and maybe that's a nice yeah, that's right. That's a familiar story, right?
I know. So
Funny and
similar.
funny and coincidental, right? I mean, albeit well, not in reverse, in the sense of both ladies in the relationships are in Canada. In fact, you guys are about 20 minutes apart from each other in the GTA, the Greater Toronto Area, right? Um,
Yep.
although not quite the same story for Mike and myself. I mean, we're both the Americans in a relationship,
Yep.
um, but not in the same state, or not from the same state.
No. And Mike
Yeah,
is obviously living here. Yeah.
and
So
Mike is living there
yeah.
now. Yes, that's correct.
Yeah.
Exactly.
For sure. Yeah.
Um, but
So
that was
different for sure. But
yeah. Um, and actually, kind of brings up the other one of the other topics we want to talk about, which is the other YouTube channels on here that we've been lucky and blessed, and that we've come in contact with already, and some of the fun surprises that we've already had, right? you know,
I would say
we,
we've had like a really fun weekend with other
yeah,
YouTubers.
yeah.
So I mean, maybe just like tell people like what happened to you the other night.
Wow, seriously. Like the thought on this is just that, look, we're we're kind of in this we're kind of in this 90 days the other way. Yes, indeed. Definitely, definitely. Um, the
Yeah.
thought on this is, look, small, burgeoning, growing channel. Who knows where things end up? The idea on this was never to become, you know, we don't look, as Lena was kind of saying earlier, right? The motivations around this was, um, it's interesting, it's exciting, it's something that, yes, we get to do together, and can we do things and partner together when we're not physically together, on a given day. But it's also just the fact that we want to do what pretty much every other content creator wants to do, which is to share a story that we think is, exciting and powerful and interesting. And if you want to come along for the ride, then, great. We're happy to drive the car, and bring you along. And so, you know, like I said, when we started the channel about a year ago, then, and I wouldn't say we still have any expectations, right? It's just it's. I used to have a slogan at work, or my tagline at work was something about, don't have expectations, just ride the wave and enjoy the ride. And that's kind of where we're at, right? Now it'd be great to hit like 200 subscribers and just kind of keep having fun with it, but doing the stuff together, um, doing the trips and all the things that we're doing together, wouldn't trade it for the world. Wouldn't trade
Oh,
it
for sure.
one
Yeah.
one iota. But
Yeah.
in doing all that and wanting to kind of, you know, both a combination of kind of advertise like, hey, we're on the scene with any of you, and just to kind of support other similar content creators and walkers, as we call them, right? Um, I jumped into a channel last night. I jumped into cruise and theme park guides, and there was a gentleman there who was walking around Epcot, spending a great time there. By the way, I'm going to say none of what we talk about here tonight is sponsored
Nope.
whatsoever. No sponsorship, no quid pro quo, quo. I'll learn how to talk someday. Nothing. So all the stuff that people that we mentioned, nothing, um, required us to do so tonight, and that's important detail. We'll get to it. So we were in his channel last night. Really great channel. Didn't know it was the 2-year anniversary of his channel last night. So they had some very specific goals that they were trying to hit, watch time and likes, and that was going really well. Uh, and At the end of the channel, they had a giveaway, and the giveaway was for a $25 gift card to spend at Disney. I should have meant, yeah, I did mention that he was at Disney. So it was a Disney themed
Hmm.
stream last night. Not always Disney, because I think he's mentioning then the next 1 or 2 weeks he's going to go to Universal. But anyway, it was Disney last night.
I would also assume there's some cruising happening there, considering the name of their channel.
I would think
So
so. I hope so.
I think that they're probably like a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
So
Mm.
yeah.
So they had a giveaway, and I, you know, uh, which we'll talk about more now, because which those are very interesting to us, and the mechanics and logistics and the value of doing a giveaway. But whatever. It was a case of that they had a giveaway, and I was interested, and it was very low effort to sign up for the giveaway, and did that. And we won the giveaway. we we won the giveaway. That was a
Yeah.
surprise. So we won a $25 gift card. But courtesy of actually, you see the latest subscriber there on the board. So Nick and Shannon Jenkins of Ear to Their Travel. The gift card was sponsored and actually provided by them through the channel. And so, like I said, there was no requirement to shout them
No.
out tonight whatsoever. Um, but part of our MO and the way we want to do this is we want to give credit where credit is due, and just highlight other people when we can, when it makes sense to do so. And that was very generous and fun. So
Look, at the end of the day, it's like you said, there's no reason or there's no need to do, a shout
yep,
out to somebody or to highlight somebody, but I think it's just the opportunity that this community has, right?
yeah,
However big or small a channel is, like if you can support each other, why not, right?
yep.
And that goes to something that happened to me like last night. Like you had that awesome thing happen to you, and I was on a different stream a couple weeks back. I very randomly found a Las Vegas streamer. Her name is Sarah, and her channel's Urban Envy, not like the word envy, but it's NV like Nevada.
Yep.
And right from the get-go, like the moment I started chatting in her live stream with her mods, the the people that she has in her stream, like everybody was so welcoming and just a really good, fun group to just chit chat with and enjoy your night. And so very quickly I subscribed to her. And she came over, did the same with
Yep.
us, checked out some of our videos, and just very regularly now we've been hopping. I like she was in
Yep.
our Friday, no, yeah, that was Friday
Yep.
night Fenton stream. And then I was checking out her stream last night because it was St. Patty's Day festivities like on Fremont Street. And you know what? Like it just goes to show you that, like, what you do good for someone,
Yeah.
and it karma, right? Like it comes back to you, because right away, as soon as she saw us in the stream and enjoying her stream, huge shout out from her to us. She had one of her mods even like share out the link to our
Yeah.
channel. It was so
Yeah.
cute. But it was just something that was so nice to have another YouTuber do it for you.
Yeah.
And it just super cool of her. So, I think it's like when you can find those really good YouTubers and the good streamers, and that just to have a really good
Yeah.
time and to build that community together. It's just really cool.
Yeah.
It's really cool to see it
Yeah.
happening, I guess I
Yep.
would have to say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This, you know,
Yeah, see,
again,
Mandy and Mike are saying the same thing. They say, I like hanging out in chats and finding new channels too. I
yeah.
mean, that's what me and you have been doing,
Yeah.
in the last couple of weeks, just trying to see like who else is out there, who else has content like us or
Yeah.
does kind of very similar things. So I would agree. I think like Amanda said, like it's just really cool to be able to do that and find those things.
Yeah.
So,
It's a little bit
yeah.
of, if you want to look at it this way, it's a little bit of like sweat equity, right? Because you're putting the time, the effort, you're getting to know other people, but it ultimately, I think it does pay dividends, right? We've slowly seen the channel just slowly grow in number of subscribers. And some days it goes up, and some day you might lose somebody one day here or there. um but I always say we're growing, we're learning each and every day, and in each of these channels, and you know this obviously, because of how much time we spend together and we talk about this stuff anyway. Like, I'm looking at every little detail of, like, I want to know, like, what people are broadcasting with, like what phones and cameras are they using. I want to know, like, what software are they using. Like, I'm paying attention to when someone's out and about. You know, many YouTubers, content creators are, they end their stream, or even actually even during the stream, you'll see the Prism Live watermark appear, which tells us very quickly, okay, they're using the Prism Live app on their mobile device. We're not using Prism Live tonight. We're using a whole different set of hardware altogether, um, to make it a little bit more involved, to have two people come together. But I'm looking at the resolution and the frame rate, like little details, because some of these some of these people that we've been lucky enough to jump into their channels and get some highs and lows, and even having some sustained conversations with Urban Envy, which I'd love to ask her next. In fact, we'll do that next time. I'd love to ask her if she realized before or after, like the kind of like the play on word of what you just kind of point out, like Urban Envy. Yes, it's for Nevada. She's in Vegas.
Oh,
When did
that's
she? When
definitely
did she? Yeah, when
intentional.
did she
That is
realize?
definitely intentional.
Exactly, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think that's pretty cool, right? And so,
Yeah.
um, I love, what made me feel really good, um, was you remarked on when we closed out our stream on Friday. She loved her tagline, which is what we've been saying for a little while now, which is, walk with you later. That's right, right? It's our way of saying,
Thought it was
bye for now.
really cool that she said that on her live stream last night.
Yeah,
But what was really cool about it, not that she said it, that she remembered it. Like it was
yeah,
obviously memorable enough, right? Like because right away she was like, "You guys have like the cutest way of closing things out." She's like, "Guys," she's like, "These guys always say walk with you later."
that's
So
true.
I thought it was really cool. Like it was something that we came up with, and you don't know if it's gonna work, but when someone points it out to you like that and it's memorable enough to do that, it's like your cute little tagline now,
Yeah.
right? So yeah,
Well,
yeah,
we've worked so hard on we've worked so hard already on our branding, right? We've worked so
yeah.
hard on, you see it here on the screen, the logo and the font and um what am I going to say? I originally wanted to call my channel Trips, Tents, and Events. Oh, but it did not stick in my
Okay, that's cute as well, Mandy and Mike, but
Yeah.
I would say From North to Neverland is definitely something that it's cute and it's a tagline in itself, right? Like, especially because I think it just speaks volumes to the things that you guys like. Like, we're in the North, we're Canada, in Neverland. Well, we go to Florida, we go to Disney a lot. Like, I think it just plays to your interests in that. So
Um,
it's getting close to now. It's time to pay the price. We're not even close to those guys. She's talking about, if you don't know, she's talking about the Tim Tracker. Tim Tracker's a massive, huge, like kind of daily vlogger from Florida, massive following, probably like a million plus subscribers, but
okay.
um he he has a tagline that he finishes his videos with, and now it's time to pay the price. So now it's time to pay the
Okay.
price, I think just speaks back to him asking people to like, subscribe, and stuff like that and support the channel, right? So um but they went from doing a daily vlog where it was very like grainy, very pixelated, like daily vlogs where
Yeah.
I think Amanda's pointed it out before, like going around the house and like watering plants and stuff like that, to massive events now, Disney, Universal,
Yeah.
cruises, and so I always think to myself like everybody's got to start somewhere, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's true. I think without turning this into a tech talk, I think just to very quickly say, I think you're right. I think to build out your brand is part of it, right? It's stuff that they say to us, at work,
Yeah.
things that you're doing, even in your own professional career, because as you guys know, this is not mine and Jason's job. We have careers and we have full-time jobs. And I always think back to my own job and career,
Yeah.
and build your brand and let people know who you are. And so I think your logo and a tagline and just doing what we're doing today, whether there's 4 people in here, 10 people in here, a
Yeah.
100, what, you never know, but it's just to have those conversations. And I think one of the things that I've always said to you about potentially having this channel together is I never want it to be fake. I never want it to be
Yeah,
phony. I want it just to be natural and I want it just to be us, right? And
yeah,
so I'm even thinking like tonight, this is so like this is so natural to us
yes,
because I
yeah,
feel like we're just on a FaceTime call
yeah,
together.
yeah,
Like this is what we do every single night
yeah,
anyway. Like so
yeah,
why not just let's do it on YouTube and
yeah,
see if we can get some company along
yeah.
the way, right? So
It
um, you know,
it's funny when when I go out to YouTube, to YouTube channel surf, right? I guess that's the cool way of saying it these days. I don't know. Um, and you go see what the live channels are. There's a lot of different kinds of live channels, and it just reminds
sure.
me. Look, I mean, sure, you've got. I'm not knocking any of these channels. I'm just saying that you've got a wide variety of channels that are watching bald eagles in a nest, and the cruise ships leaving a port. To
Or
you
Mandy and
know,
Mike tuning into Raccoon Saloon.
there you go. Right there's
Sorry guys.
like it's it's perfect in the sense of like this is what YouTube is about. But I would also say, and this kind of ties back to the point around branding, which is um we've never ever wanted this channel to be about the mundane or the routine, right? It's always been very everything we put out here has been, very intentional, right? The YouTube streams that we've done to date were not just a case of, hey, I'm just running to the store, let me just kind of turn it on and let's just talk randomly. It's been about special events that stood out to us, or when we were um the time that we were together, but talking about the trip when we were in the car going down to Florida, or again traveling to like Fenton as we did. It's always been everything that we do here is it is with a degree of
Wait,
thought
time out.
around the
Did you
branding.
say
Yeah,
go time out? Did you say going to the store and vlogging? Give me a reason to shop and I'll go.
that's true. That's a
Sorry.
good point. That's
I'm a
true.
shopper.
True. That's true. I don't want to, and there will be. Um, wow, Asheville Board and Brush. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad you're here.
Hello.
Yes, there you go. I came across Big Bear Lake just like I said just a few nights ago. Oh my gosh, so glad that you guys are here. Uh, so Asheville Board and Brush, which I will happily plug here. When and if you're in the North Carolina area, please, Western North Carolina area, specifically around Asheville, as the name suggests, um, please go schedule time with Board and Brush. Uh, so the owner, full disclosure, uh, well, one of the co-owners, I should say, married couple, one is my sister. Uh, yes, check them out. Lynette and Todd Stewart, fantastic. Glad you guys are here tonight. Really glad. Hi there. Uh, oh, well, there you go. Free plug. You didn't
Didn't
expect
know
it. There you
this.
go. Um,
Yeah.
uh, yeah, sorry, I gladly lost my train of thought there for a second. What were we just saying a moment ago? Uh, geez, completely lost my train of thought. Yeah. No, I know what it was.
No, I said if I'm going
Shopping,
shopping, I
shopping.
said, give me a
Yes,
reason to shop. I will
I
take a vlog
know.
camera with me.
So we've done so at Bucky's, right? But there's a lot of places you can take a video and go do some shopping. But I know that Bucky's always seems to be a fun one, and you've done some shorts, and some recordings, and from North Neverland's done some things at Bucky's. The cool thing here, so um, unfortunately, there's no. Did we ever figure out like what's the furthest Bucky's north? Is it like in Pennsylvania somewhere?
There's one right now in Kentucky. So, I mean, I
Okay,
think they're building one in Ohio too coming up, but I mean, there's definitely not any close to me right now. Like, because the one in Kentucky is down near like Cincinnati. Like, so it's like borderline like Ohio going into Kentucky. The one that's going to be built in Ohio, you're probably looking at a good 4 or 5 hours still from where I'm located. So you've got the closest one to you. And it's funny because, yeah, you're right. We've done some like little shorts along the way, like as we travel or whatever. And then the last time we were, no, wait, yeah, the last time we were traveling in November, we did a little bit of like the late night driving, or
Yeah.
I shouldn't say late night, that was early morning driving.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
and and we pulled into the parking lot of Bucky's, but unfortunately, at that moment, our gimbal was acting up and we cut
Oh,
it.
yeah,
Or
yeah.
I would have happily taken people in there with us. So, because I think that Bucky's is like a huge interest right now. I think people want to see
Hmm.
in there. And so, yeah, had that not happened to the gimbal, I definitely would have had people tag along with us, especially at that time of day, because there was like hardly anybody in there with us. There was people there because I think there's always going to be people at Bucky's,
Hmm.
but it
Yeah.
wasn't like the hundreds and hundreds. Like once you hit that like 10, 11, 12, hey, you have to admit, look when we pulled into
Yeah,
Daytona, like it is
yeah.
mayhem. Like there's no way I would even try and vlog at that time just because I don't even think you can hear yourself think sometimes in there, because there's just so many people. It's
Yeah,
so packed, right? So yeah, like at that time of the morning it would have been ideal. But we had that was like our first time like streaming while driving and traveling
yeah.
and on the move, and so we had some tech issues.
I I there's two things that come to mind. So first off, I'm not gonna say I'm even close to like mastering like how you live stream from a car. And what I mean by that is there's so much like you're in a car. You don't have like a desk, a table to like do all your equipment. So, you know, and you don't you're in a car that's bouncing around, you're in motion, and yeah, the car's got suspension, but you and your hands don't, right? And so you definitely wanted to get the gimbal out. Well, that's in and of itself a fun thing to kind of do to kind of get that all set up. And then and then there's the well, there's the microphones, and I don't want to sound like we're talking a big giant hollow tunnel, which is what I like. I have this like perpetual fear is going to happen. So they're like trying to mic up safely while we're trying to get from point A to point B. Like there's just like all that stuff there, and so learning experience. But yeah, getting to Bucky's, and um, we'll definitely go to Bucky's again in Florence is the one that's closest to here today. But the cool thing is, for those of you who don't already know, is that they are building a new Bucky's in, it's called Mebane, North Carolina. So it is, I would say, 30 to 35 minutes, give or take, west of Raleigh. Um, right where basically right where two major interstates come together. And that is going to be like kudos for Bucky's for getting the approval and to build the site. Unfortunately, it's not going to be until I think 2027. Um, but I guarantee, and we may do this for another Bucky's, perhaps, but for definitely for that new Bucky's, when it comes to Mebane, um, we will do a stream. We may do start to finish. We may get on the road at some point and then just start streaming and get there. Um, the signal from here to there where they're setting up is probably going to be okay. But to show off the new
Yeah.
store and what a brand new Bucky's looks like with probably 2,000 of our closest friends there, um, that's gonna be that's gonna be something else. That's gonna be a lot of fun.
I think
I'm
it's
looking.
going to do really good in that area too.
Yeah,
I think just because where we drove by the area, like it's such a busy, busy spot.
yeah,
Um, but I also think that that's the reason why I think that's the reason why that project got pushed out, right? Like when I was looking at news articles about it and
Yeah.
everything else, like the way that that area is right now, it would never be able to support the amount of traffic coming in and out of that the exit, right?
Yep.
So I mean, they need to have like that whole road infrastructure
Yes.
completely changed.
Yes.
And I think that that's where we had read that the
Yep.
state is forcing them to
Yep.
allow them to do the road work first and complete the construction to take on that amount of
Yep.
volume of people kind of pouring into that area for
Yep.
this, and then they'll be able to open, right? So I can't recall. I don't know if 2027 was right or if it was very late end of 2026, but I know for sure when we read that article about it, it's definitely pushing it out from what they wanted because I think they really wanted to
Yes.
be ready by end of 2025.
Yeah. I think it's well,
Um,
I think it is 2027, and it's because they're not even allowed to break ground on the building, like the Bucky's proper
yeah,
structure until all that road work is okay. Astral Board Brush says
yeah,
2027. They can't do any groundbreaking until all that road construction and expansion is done,
yeah.
which I don't know. It just seems strange, but hey,
I
I
don't
don't.
think it's strange though, because when you go into the busiest of areas, like think about it, right? Like when you go into when we've been into the Florence one, when we've been into like we've stopped at the, St. Augustine one on the way down to Florida, we've stopped in the Daytona Beach one, like the roads in the areas are absolutely set up in a way to keep the flow of traffic moving all the time. So like
Oh,
all the flow of traffic going in, all the flow of traffic coming out, like it is 100% built around all of
oh,
that.
no, I agree with that. I know I completely agree that they need to have those roads improved and expanded before they open. What I'm saying is you're only going to have a relatively small number of vehicles involved to do the construction. So why can't the construction, which is going to be off the road, be taking place while they're finishing up the roads? Like that's what I say. It seems like you should be able to do
Yeah,
two things at once to
true.
accelerate the overall opening date, but apparently that's
And
not the
I
agreement that they
mean,
came to.
when you think about it though, like I don't think there's much to those places though, right? Like it's one big structure. Like it's one big
Yeah,
rectangle, right? Like it's
yeah,
almost like a big rectangle warehouse,
yeah,
that they've just got to set up that way. I think their biggest part of construction is probably their gas, right? Like
yeah.
you got to dig under for all the gas tanks and all the holding tanks. And I mean, I don't know if I've ever been to a Bucky's that has less than like 100 gas pumps, right? Like
Right, easily.
it is crazy. So I think probably that's the majority of their construction because the building is nothing. Like the building is a rectangle that they fill like
Yeah,
completely with merchandise, right? So I think once they have the chance to break ground and stuff, I don't think their construction will take long. I think
yep,
I think it is the road work that takes the longest because I think if they didn't set that up like first and know the flow and everything else, like it would be an absolute nightmare
yeah,
for sure.
yeah,
At the busiest and the biggest of intersections right now is, you know, it it gets jammed,
mm,
right? Like the flow continues to move, but it's busy and you are waiting at lights to turn and you're waiting at
yep,
the off ramps. And so, I mean, if that area is not ready for it,
yeah.
you know, it's
But,
not going to go well. Hello,
but
Meredith. Hello.
awesome. Glad to have you tonight. Hi, Meredith. Hello, hello. Awesome. Yeah, just yeah, we'll get back to Bucky's, I guess, to close out that thought and idea. All right, we'll get back there. Um, again, with the 2027 date, I mean, and we just started 2025 a few months ago. We'll obviously we'll be at other Bucky's long before the Mebane one
So,
opens.
I was just gonna say that just means we're going back to Florence.
I know exactly. Or Orlando or Daytona.
Yep. Yeah.
There's I always tell people when I'm having a conversation on Bucky's and how you and I, love all things Disney. I'm always like, there are three Bucky's between here and Orlando. Just saying. Well, including the one in Orlando itself. So,
There's actually four now because
oh,
on
St.
our way
Augustine.
back, and no, that would be the third because Florence, we already know about Florence, St. Augustine, and Daytona.
Yeah.
But on the way back from Florida in November from our cruise, they were building a huge one in Georgia.
Oh, that's
So
right.
that
That's
will be the
right.
fourth. You'll hit the Georgia one before you hit
Oh,
the Florida stuff.
Asheville Board Brush says you can come visit me and go to the one in Seaverville. Where is Seaverville?
Awesome.
Is that the one that? Okay, I'm curious if that's the one that as you.
Is that one already open? I think so, right?
You know what makes me
How far would
chuckle
that be
is
from her?
I I don't know. You're probably easier to get the map loaded up there to kind of check it out.
Oh, I can't right now. I've
Oh,
got you
okay.
on one thing and the chat on the other. And Amanda says you have to go to the one in Texas. Everything is big in Texas. So, I
Where in
mean,
There
and
are
that's where,
places in
well,
Texas
Bucky's
that I want to
comes from
go.
Texas.
Well, I know that, but
Bucky's
is there one
is
in
from
particular?
Texas. So everything is like huge. The
Okay.
Bucky's there are massive. So she says, yes,
Okay.
it's open. It's over there on the other side of Pigeon Forge. Um,
Is
okay,
that
we'll definitely go because I want to go to Pigeon Forge.
yeah?
So it just gives us another
Well, I
reason.
want to know, is that the one? So I want to know as when I'm driving to when I'm almost to Asheville on I-40, you know, for those of you who don't know, I-40 is like the one interstate that will literally take you from coast to coast in the States. And it goes right through the middle of North Carolina as well. There's a sign coming up before Asheville, before I get off, and it says Bucky's in like 110 miles or something like that. It's
Lovely
like
that one.
this huge like where the only other time when I can think of like you're gonna see signs that advertise um like a destination like that far out, like there's not a lot of them because it costs a lot of money to put signs that far out. It's that south of the border place, right? That
Oh
I
Lord.
I'm not
Sorry.
look, we haven't been there. Not saying we're gonna get there, and then we're gonna have a whole conversation about like, um, okay, that is the one. Wow,
Yeah.
okay. I
And you
just
know what I mean? Mandy said that one that's close to your sister was the biggest one before some of the ones in there's a massive one I think that just got built in Texas. So she
hey,
said yes, that's
uh,
the biggest one in Tennessee,
okay,
like before the bigger one in Texas.
okay. Oh, and then then they
Yeah,
just
so the
said
billboards are for that one. So that makes perfect sense.
that's
So
crazy. I mean, crazy in the sense of like, again, I've always thought that a billboard for something that's 100 and some odd miles away. Wow. I mean, it just goes to the interest and draw that is
yeah.
Bucky's. And yet, I had, for those of you who don't know, is like I had this conversation with my boss late last year sometime, and he works up in the northeastern part of the states, and he so they don't have Bucky's around there, and he asked me, "What's a Bucky's?" I had to think for a second, and I told him, "Well, it's a gas station at its core with really great food, and I'll be honest, it's kind of a bit of a non-starter when you sell it that way. That's not how you convince someone to go to Bucky's, um, because then you're also describing like a Sheetz gas station down here in North Carolina. It's like a gas station with great food. Hmm. Okay, let's move on. So,
I know. Somebody up here, because like a lot of Canadians don't know about Bucky's unless they head south, right?
yeah,
So up here, it's like I've told them, like, it's massive. It's a big gas station. It's got the cleanest bathrooms on the
right?
highway. And it's got amazing, delicious food. And it's big. Like
Oh,
you could
oh,
go shopping in there,
oh,
like you
oh,
go
oh.
shopping in a Walmart.
Okay. I know
Like
this is great, but go back. But it's not just. I know they pride themselves on the cleanest bathrooms, and I'll give them
they
that.
do.
But and I'm gonna assume the women's bathroom is just like the men's bathroom. But when you walk into the men's bathroom, it's not only like a giant wide bathroom, like it's like floor to ceiling, like 20 feet. Your stalls are like you're like a I don't want to call it a private palace. That's a bit grand, but I mean it's I don't know what to explain. Like
It's
it's
it's a clean bathroom, so I will call it
but
that compared to
it's a
some
clean
rest
bathroom.
stops that you
That's
have to stop
yeah,
at.
that's it's just unlike anything. And
Yeah.
yeah, I definitely don't want to go, and I by the way, I don't mind turning this into a conversation on Bucky's. And again, they don't sponsor us, but Bucky's, if you're listening, just saying. Anyway, the food, very quickly, the food. Um, never had any bad food from there. Um, the brisket always stands out, right? The brisket and the breakfast sandwiches. We've had both the
Yeah.
sandwiches and like the burritos, right?
Yeah, you have.
You've had the
Yeah.
burrito. I don't think I've had the burrito yet.
No, no, no,
No?
no, not
Did I get that
me.
wrong?
No.
Did I have a burrito?
You
I
had
don't
a
think I.
burrito like for lunch at one of our stops or
Oh,
whatever. It wasn't
okay.
for
That's what it
breakfast.
was.
Breakfast, we were like
Got it.
completely sold on those biscuit sandwiches.
Yep.
So yeah.
And
But
the beaver nuggets. Have you had those yet? Have I gotten us a bag of
yeah,
those yet?
we
Okay,
have.
those are fun.
Yep.
Like
Yeah.
like corn pops Bucky style, but they're not. It's not a cereal either.
Yeah.
It's
But it tastes
delicious.
like some cereals.
It does.
Yeah.
It does.
Yeah.
They had scented candles that I bought. One for Asheville Board and Brush, and one for my mom, and one um wasn't one like the Beaver Nugget scent,
Hmm.
and I think
Yep.
that was the one that I gave Asheville Board and Brush, and the other was banana pudding. Banana pudding. Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny though, you mentioned like the billboard saying like 100 and something miles away, and that's crazy for it to be that far. But I remember our last road trip down. Um, I remember one of the billboards that we passed. It was just a black billboard, and all that was on it was the Bucky's logo. So it was just the beaver head, and all it said underneath it was 297 miles. So it was like already like advertising for like almost 300 miles away. Like that's how popular they are, right? So, yeah.
That's insane. I mean, in a
Yeah,
good way.
for
Again,
sure.
I mean, kudos to Bucky's for making it happen. So,
Yep.
um,
Yep.
what did board Roche? That's weird. And
I got
yeah,
to
so
step away
yummy.
for a minute. I'll be right back.
Okay, awesome, awesome. Uh, hello again to everybody in the chat with us tonight. Our first two-person live stream tonight. Um, it's good to have all of you here. We um we do want to get to 200 subscribers. Talk about branding. What's on your mind about branding from North to Neverland? Branding has been, I guess I would say something. It's again, like I said, that we don't come on here and do like some people will get on a channel, as everybody here probably knows, and they will film. Oh, branding with Bucky's. Yes, yes. Um, wow, Bucky. I'll wait for Lanny to get back to this one because we have we have bought. we've definitely bought our fair share of merch from Bucky's. Um, be it for my boys or other family members, or uh, for her, for Lena's family members and nephews, for example, and some other things. But I'll wait for her to get back. We'll talk about branding. They do a great job though. They really do. They make it fun. I'll when she gets back, we'll talk about some of the. There's some weird, unusual things I think you might think of that you can get at Bucky's, but uh, it's all good. It's it's been fun. And I don't think, if I recall, I don't think you can buy Bucky's merchandise online. I think like that's the other thing. They themselves have made some very intentional decisions to make sure that they are drawing people to the store and maximizing foot traffic and getting customers in and through the store for that matter. So a couple things that stand out. The gas pumps. There might be 150 gas pumps, and that's not an exaggeration. So the question was to talk about the branding of Bucky's, babe. And so I was just saying that there's a couple things that they do that are very obvious that they do that really make sure that they get people in the store. And then we're going to get back to actually like really branding itself. But the gas pumps
Yeah.
themselves, there might be 150 gas pumps, and that sounds like a lot. It's a lot, but that's not an exaggeration for some of these stations or some of these stores. No trucks allowed, no 18 wheelers whatsoever. For all the great food and all the different kinds of food, um, there's no seating area inside the store, none whatsoever.
I think that's so intentional though,
Yeah,
because number
yeah,
one, like I gotta say, like if they allowed the transport trucks in there, there would be absolutely no parking for
gridlock.
cars. And you see how busy those parking lots are with just cars in them,
Yes.
right? Like the only time that you see any trucks in there is when they're either getting a delivery or
Yep.
gas, right?
Yep.
Like that's the only people in there. So like I honestly can say like that is 100% intentional, like that you never get cars in there. Secondly, I think the decision to not have an eating area in there, mega wise,
Yep.
because it's so busy and it's mind blowing how many people are in there at any given
Yeah.
time. Like I can just imagine like if you had space taken up with tables, chairs, everything else, you would not get anything. You would not even be able to get around in there like at all.
It's it's
It is
it's
food to go.
chaos.
Go to your
It's
car.
chaos in it's chaos in a good way without the seating area. Like it's like
Organized chaos
it's
right now.
organized and controlled chaos, right? Yeah, if they
Yep.
had seating area, first off, I don't know where they would put the seats. Because what's amazing,
No.
and maybe this is a good segue to the merch itself, is it's a massive, massive building. Every Bucky's we've been to, it's massive. Again, outside for the pumps, but the structure, the inside, um, the food area comprises, we'll say, half to 60% maybe of the store, maybe. Would you say? And then the rest is the merchandise. The rest is all the Bucky's branded merchandise. And I tell you what, there's some cool things there. I mentioned a couple candles. What were some things that stood out to you that you've bought?
I mean, before we get into like the merch conversation, I'll say I think the store layout is very intentional too.
Yeah.
Because like if you come in like the main set of doors or like if there's a middle set of doors there, I think they very strategically set it up where like bathrooms and ready to go food all in the middle,
Yep.
like right away. And
Yep.
then towards the end is like food aisles because they've got tons of snacks and tons of sauces and barbecue
Yeah.
sauce and They've even got drinks in there, like wine and spirits and everything on the one end, and then the far end is all merchandise. So I think that like if you're in there for a very like intentional purpose, like if you're someone wanting to get off the highway, go to the washroom, get food and get out, stick to the middle, right? I don't know if anyone ever sticks to the middle though, because you get in there and your eyes start wandering and then you're in trouble. Like, I don't know if I've ever been to a Bucky's where I'm not there like 40 minutes because, or at the least 40 minutes, 40, 45,
True.
because it's like go to the washroom, then you're like looking around, what kind of food do I want? But then I very quickly like steer off to the merchandise because it's just super cute stuff. Like there's stuff for your house. Like you can get magnets, you can get tea towels, you can get coasters. Oh my goodness, coasters. Look at, I'm going to show them right now. I've got a South Carolina coaster for Becky's. And I've and I've got a Florida coaster for Bucky's. So I'm kind of hoping like this is the I'm kind of hoping that those are things that you can get like in every state that you go to, because then it's like then
Mm.
there's going to be like a North Carolina one for the one that's coming close to
Yep.
you, and then like if we go to the one out by your sister, that's Tennessee. So hopefully, there's more of those to come. But look, it's stuff that's so affordable. They put it at price points that people want to buy it. Even their t-shirts, like I've gotten two or three really, really cute t-shirts now, and like they're under 20 bucks, right? So and the kids stuff is even less than that. And honestly speaking, like you see it, people like walk around there with baskets or carts and they are full,
Yeah.
they're full, so yeah. um
It's really great. Oh, and I see there.
See what Amanda said? Like she goes, I have a Bucky's. I don't know if you saw this while I was
I
away
see
for a
it.
moment, but she says, I have a Bucky's bumper sticker that says seize the day. Only one she's seen around here. Yeah, you're not gonna get a lot of Bucky's stuff here, that's for sure. Especially in Canada, but you know, it's funny. Amanda says, scheduled stop on road trips. Yeah, you have to build time in for it. Absolutely. Like
True.
when you know you're passing one, you're like, yeah, I'm going to spend a half an hour there and a half an hour at the next one or whatever. Like, you're going to spend time. Amanda, if you haven't saw these coasters yet, definitely pick them up. They're super cute. And I'll say, like, it's funny, I have the sticker on the back of them still. They were only like they're like ceramic and really, really cute and colorful. And they were only like 3.49 each.
I was
So
gonna say you would again. I think conventional wisdom, not knowing better, you'd be thinking, oh, I'm going to a store, a gas station, and whatever I'm going to buy there, that's not food and gas, is going to be junk. I don't.
oh, not
I don't think
there,
not
not
there
there
at
at
all. Like
all,
seriously,
at
like
all.
it's been good quality stuff, and there's a lot of it's kind of weird to say this. I mean, when I say weird, I mean like in all in a positive sense. Like there's a lot of home decor there that you would get there, and again, little small things
There
sometimes, like the coasters you were showing, the pictures or things that you might hang on the wall or set outside on like a front porch. I mean, and then there's getting to the kids stuff, right? I know that I've bought like the Bucky's Squishable, for example.
Yeah,
I've bought, there are Bucky's blankets, for
blankets.
example, which are super soft, super soft.
Didn't you get like glass, like ceramic or glass like travel mugs once for like I think Daniel
I
and Hunter
Yes,
too, right?
yes, I believe that's
So
correct. Yep.
I mean, it's just really like cute stuff at really good prices. Like even some of the magnets I have on my fridge, like really, really cute magnets, even double-sided magnets. They're only like, two something. So I think they're very smart about it. I think they know like if they keep their price point lower, people buy it and they'll make up for the lower
Yeah.
price points on like volume going out the door, right? But I think the other really cool thing about Bucky's is it's like it's not just their own merchandise, right? Like I find they have a lot of their own merchandise on one side of the store, but then kind of like you turn around and the whole other side is like I think they support other brands too. I don't know if it's local brands or just brands that they have, partnerships with, but I've seen a lot of clothes from other companies and a lot of home decor from other places and businesses as well. So, and even on that side of the store like
Yeah.
I've seen some really like really cute stuff for guys to wear, really pretty stuff for women, and really amazing like home stuff. So it's funny, like I can't describe that place just as a gas station to people because I don't think it does it justice whatsoever, right?
No.
But
No.
essentially at the core of it, you're right. That is what it is. But yeah, that's funny. We went down the rabbit hole with Bucky's, but it's a it's a it's a fun conversation to be on because um I just don't think there's anywhere else like it on the road. Like I think it is very, very original.
Another time, we'll. I I didn't know we were going to be talking about Bucky's tonight, but if I knew that, I would have even brought over to sit down with the hot sauce. The hot sauce,
Yeah.
again, not to get too far into this tonight, but I'll just say I love hot, spicy foods. I've had some of the hottest foods that you can buy. Um, and I gotta tell you what,
What what did Man
Bucky's,
sorry, what did Mandy just say? Live chat idea, top five travel. Is
I don't
that
know
a
what that is yet.
typo? What is I don't know what that is. T-
I,
Mandy, what do you mean?
what, try again, please.
What is that last word you typed in, Mandy? Oh my goodness.
I'm,
Sorry.
I'm,
You were talking about the
no,
hot
to
sauce.
say
You love the hot sauce. Yeah.
so Bucky's has, among other things, they have their own line of hot sauce. And I've gotten the two, um, oh, okay.
Swag. Oh my
Flag,
goodness.
yes, there
Okay.
you go.
Top five travel swag. Wow.
Got it.
That would
Okay.
make us fall down a really a deep rabbit hole
Hmm.
because the
Well,
merch or the swag you can get while traveling. Yeah. Tchotchkes. Okay. Now I
okay. You
understand
know,
what she was
okay.
talking about.
That's interesting.
Tchotchkes. Yes, but it didn't
So,
come across that way. Trinkets. Yep.
okay. So
Yep.
I knew that word, but I gotta admit, I've never actually seen it written out. So I think that's what kind of,
Yeah, me neither. That's what
okay.
threw me. Yep. Yep.
But their hot sauce, I've had their two hottest hot sauces, scorpion and ghost pepper. And I gotta
Yep.
tell you what, they're good flavor, and they they'll challenge me a bit. And I've done Dave's Insanity. I've done the oh gosh, we'll have look again another day. We'll have a mini chat on just hot sauces and which ones, if more than one, like. Okay, spoiler alert, it's just one of us, and I've already spoiled that
Yeah, I was
too.
gonna say that's gonna be a one-sided conversation. Yeah, there's
Got
no
it.
way. Yep.
Got it.
Yep.
All right. Well, I tell you what, this has been a lot of fun.
This has
This
been
has been
fun.
great.
Yep.
This has been a
It's
lot of
been
fun. I'm
cool.
glad, like I said, I'm glad that I'm interested to hear if people just say very quickly, how was the quality of the stream tonight? Like I said, this is our first time uh doing two-person um chat like this on the live stream. So,
Yeah, hopefully
and
it's been okay because this has been a learning
yeah,
experience for us too
I mean,
tonight.
I
You've
will
done it by
say,
yourself, but
yeah,
doing a dual screen
yeah,
and
I did
setting it
it
up was
what a little
yeah.
over 2 weeks ago. I did just a tech talk because as I explained that I had this itch to share, much more about the behind the scenes and whatnot.
Awesome.
But figuring out how to bring in a second party um, was okay, great,
We're
great,
saying good.
excellent.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Awesome.
That makes me feel
Good to hear.
really good. Glad to hear that.
Yeah.
Yeah, to bring in a second person was like it took some work. It took some practice, and in the future, oh, we're on the big screen tonight. Okay. Um, it took some practice, and in the future, we actually have it set up that we could bring in even more. As I kind of highlighted, would
Yeah.
love to get from North to Neverland you guys with us, and because we're all doing the same thing, and get more people
Yeah, you know when it
visibility
would
to
be
what you guys
awesome
do.
to have them on? Like I constantly go back to a thought where like I think it would be super super cool. Like spoiler alert, they're going on a cruise in May and they're trying out a cruise line that none of us have, right? So I always think back to, that could be a really cool conversation to have to kind of be able to like com- do a real good comparison of like cruise lines and what we think of everybody because for example like the awesome thing about Mandy and Mike is they've tried cruise lines that we haven't had the chance to
Hmm.
yet or other people haven't. So like they've been on Disney Cruise Line. I mean, they've been on they've what if before we go,
I,
what oh okay. So it says
I'll
what if
explain
the
that in a
card
second.
leaning
I know what
against
he's
your
asking.
picture?
Yep.
Awesome. Um so like they've been on Royal Caribbean, we have as well, but they've also been on Disney Cruise Line, they've been on Norwegian, we've been on MSC, and then they're very quickly going on another one. And so you know, to do like a big conversation about that, I think it would be super cool to be able to do some comparisons and just have like a really hearty conversation around it. And I think that that could also really help some people out there
Sure.
that are potentially like, you know, virgins to cruising because there are there are a lot of people out there that don't know anything about cruising,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
and it's funny, you get into conversations like that every single day with people that just don't know about different travel places or um I think back to somebody at my work. I had a conversation with them about cruising, and because of that conversation, they went on one. They came back and they were like, "Oh my goodness, why haven't I done that sooner?" Right? So it's the same thing with me. Like I say, there are people that know nothing about, cruising. I know nothing about overseas travel. I am totally like,
Mhm.
I've never been overseas anywhere, right?
Same.
So there's huge wants and bucket list items to go on. But I would absolutely need to have a very good conversation with someone about overseas.
Yeah.
I agree. I agree, Mandy. None of us have been on Carnival yet. And oh, Margaritaville at sea. That's the hot topic right now. People say one of the ships are bad, one of the ships are decent, but they're dirt cheap. So, I mean, hey, for a vlog series, I'll do it. I
Sure.
mean, sure.
I think we just set our topic for the next time we do this.
I
Or
know, right? Yeah.
it's gonna be cruise chat, and we're gonna
Maybe not
have
the
to get
next time because
okay, one of them
we aren't
coming up.
going, they're not going to
Yeah.
theirs till May, but I definitely think it'll be a future one for sure. For sure.
Awesome. Well, the
Yeah.
cool thing about this is it um, we can bring people in.
I know, I love
You know,
that.
you and I are sitting here on literally on our couches, doing this
Yeah.
tonight. Um, but like the main reason is just it's a nice stable internet connection. But somebody's out and about and they've got a good connection, it's trivial to bring somebody in and join us now that we know how this works. And the feedback is that things are working really great, and that's
Yeah.
wonderful. But yeah, a future talk around, cruising. Comparing cruise line, that sounds like a lot of fun. I'd love to get into that. And I don't know the Margaritaville stuff that you guys are talking about other than the song. So,
Margaritaville, they took over some like old like look, they took over some old like Carnival like Costa ships or whatever, and one of them is called Paradise, and one of them is called Islander, and people say really bad stuff about Paradise. Islander is a hit and miss, but like I said, they tend to be very, very cheap from the price point perspective. So, I mean, look, I love cruising and I'm all about trying new things. That's why I said, oh, okay, for a vlog series, I'll be a guinea pig, sure, right? So, it's one of those things I never rule it out because look, I think back to, and I mean, for anyone watching right now, we've got a whole footage series on MSC coming up, right? Um, but but that in itself is an example where like I've heard really mixed stuff about MSC cruises. I've heard the not so great stuff, and then I've heard the really great stuff. And you know what? I'm so happy we went on one
oh yeah,
because I think
definitely.
we had an awesome, awesome time, right? Um, the Margaritaville cruises, who knows? It's something new. Maybe they're still in a learning curve. They're still growing. They're obviously not a huge company. But I will say, I've done research, and yes, one of the ships is, I think, better than the other. But I will say one of the things that I think is really super cool about Margaritaville is I learned about a program that they have where if you're active military or retired military, they'll let you cruise for free. And I think that that's pretty cool. So
Wow.
I think you maybe only pay for like, and I could be wrong about this. Look into it if you were interested in it, but I think you maybe are only for taxes and fees, but the rest of like the cruise,
Wow.
it it's like they'll cover your room and that for free. So I think that that's cool of them,
That's
right?
great.
So, it's definitely something to it's right on their website, and I think that that's really cool of them. So, I mean, I think that they've got good promotions out when they're trying to do deals. And it's funny because I'm in a lot of Facebook groups for them. And I hear of like military couples and that are absolutely, taking advantage of the cruising for free.
That's so
So,
cool.
that I think it's really cool. So, but who knows? Maybe we'll try them out someday,
I'm
but
I'm game for look, hey, with
look what
you, I'm game
Mandy
for
goes,
anything.
there's your next trip. It's actually not our next trip.
No,
So
uh, we'll
we
talk
have the
more next
next
time.
trip
We'll
planned.
talk more next
Yep.
time what our next trip holds.
Yeah. Yep.
So, okay.
Another
All
live
right.
stream. Future
Future
plans
plan.
live stream.
Well,
Yep.
this has been great. This has been a lot of fun. So,
Yeah. Yep.
awesome. Well,
Awesome.
I
Well,
tell you what, we'll close it out here. Thank you for everybody. Again, if you haven't already, please subscribe, hit the like button, and please hit that bell so you get notifications when we do more of these in the future. We love doing these for all the reasons
oh,
that we said.
hold on.
Oh
Sorry,
yes,
before we close it out, my sister says, in honor of mom, our family's first vlogger, LOL, we should digitize our original cruise tape and post on our channels. So absolutely, it it would be awful not to bring this up, but it's our mom's birthday today. So happy heavenly birthday to our mommy. And she absolutely was our family's first vlogger. She was the first one in the family to very quickly on our first cruise ever, uh find somewhere in Florida to rent a camcorder from. And she was all into capturing every moment of that
wow.
cruise and making us talk on camera and everything. It is the cruise tape. Yes, it is. And that's probably the reason why, Mandy, that I still have a VCR somewhere in this place because it is on a VHS tape, and heaven forbid we cannot watch that cruise tape. So, yes, so a big just happy heavenly birthday to our mommy. We love her so much and we miss her every single day. But she is 100% the reason why we love travel as much as we do, and we love Disney as much as we do. And we took our first cruise with her, and she was a travel agent, as her career. First for personal pleasure for people booking trips, and then went on to the corporate side, and you know it's definitely all because of her that we absolutely love to get out and about and do road trips and airplanes and everything as much as we do. So huge shout out to mom. Yeah,
Happy
for
birthday.
sure. Happy birthday,
That's
mommy.
awesome.
Yeah.
No better
Yeah,
way to close out tonight's
I know, right?
time
That
together.
Yeah,
This has been great.
exactly. Yeah.
Awesome. Awesome.
Yep.
Well, okay. Well, again, thank you, everybody. Glad you could all join us tonight. We've enjoyed being here tonight. This has been a lot of fun. Um, and as we always say, we love to say, walk with you later.
We'll
Okay.
walk
Bye
with
for
you
now.
later.
All right. Bye bye. Love you.
Bye,
Bye bye.
guys.